Hey guys! Welcome back to another video on my channel about Game of Thrones. If you're a fan of the series, you've probably noticed that there are many traditions and customs present in George R.R. Martin's created universe that aren't so common in our real life, right? One of those customs is the right of guest, which is the theme of our video today. But before we talk about it, let's play a little game. Who has never wanted to be a knight or a queen in Westeros? I have. But then I remember that the mortality rate there is very high and I give up quickly. Jokes aside, the right of guest is a very important aspect of the culture of the Seven Kingdoms and is something that can make all the difference in a character's life. That's why today we're going to talk about how this tradition works and why it's so valued in Westeros. So, if you're curious and want to know more about this topic, don't waste any time and leave a like on the video and share it with your friends. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now to not miss any of our Game of Thrones content. Shall we? What is the right of guest? Well, now that we've played our little game of knights and queens in Westeros, let's talk about the main subject of our video, the right of guest. But before explaining what it is, I have a question for you. Have you ever thought about inviting a friend to spend a few days at your house and suddenly something happens to him while he's there? No, I'm not talking about anything serious, just something like he breaks a plate or spills juice on the sofa. Well, in Game of Thrones, this is a very serious matter. The right of guest is a tradition that involves the protection and respect of the guest and is taken very seriously by the characters in the series. Basically, when a host invites someone to stay in his house, he becomes responsible for protecting that guest and offering him a safe place to stay. And why is this so important? Well, in a world where betrayal and violence are common, having a safe place to stay can make all the difference in a character's life. In addition, the right of guest also functions as a kind of gentleman's agreement between the characters. They promise to protect and respect the guest in exchange for a similar treatment when they are in the position of guests themselves. But of course, like everything in Game of Thrones, things don't always go as planned. In some cases, characters end up betraying the right of guest and using the presence of the guest as a way to gain an advantage in battles or negotiations. So, had you heard about the right of guest in Game of Thrones before? Leave your thoughts in the comments about this tradition and whether you think it would be important in real life too. And don't forget to leave a like and share the video with your friends to help the channel grow. The right of guest in ASOIAF. Now that we understand what the right of guest is, let's talk a little more about how it is applied in Game of Thrones. After all, it's not just a matter of offering a safe place for the guest to sleep, right? In ASOIAF, the right of guest is taken so seriously that even sworn enemies are required to honor it. If a character accepts an invitation to stay in another character's house, he must be protected at all costs and cannot suffer any type of violence or aggression while under the host's roof. And it's not just a matter of education or common sense. Those who break the guest right are considered traitors and can suffer serious consequences, including loss of reputation and even death. Additionally, the tradition of guest right includes the exchange of gifts between the host and the guest as a way of reciprocating hospitality. A well-chosen gift can make all the difference in sealing alliances and maintaining good relationships between characters. However, as with everything in Game of Thrones, things don't always go as planned. In some situations, characters abuse the guest right to obtain information or negotiating advantages, leading to tense and dramatic situations. What do you think about this tradition of guest right in ASOIAF? Do you think it would be useful in our real life as well? Leave your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and share the video with your friends to help the channel grow. Fun facts about the guest right. The guest right is such an ancient tradition that there are several interesting facts about it in ASOIAF. Let's take a look at some of them. In Greek mythology, guest right was considered sacred and protected by the gods. Even Zeus, the king of the gods, respected the guest right. In medieval European culture, guest right was known as the truce of hospitality. During the guest stay at the host's house, no dispute or conflict could be initiated. In ASOIAF, breaking the guest right is so severe that not even the king can forgive it. If a character breaks the guest right, they become a breaker of guest right and are considered a pariah in society. There is also a custom of offering salt and bread to the guest as a symbol of welcome. In Slavic culture, for example, salt is considered a symbol of friendship and loyalty. In some African cultures, guest right is considered so important that it is an obligation to offer shelter and food to anyone who arrives at their home. This tradition is known as Ubuntu and means I am because we are. So, did you guys like these fun facts about the guest right? Did you know any of them? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and share the video to help the channel grow. Conclusion. I hope you enjoyed this video about the guest right in ASOIAF. We learned a lot about this important tradition in the series and also discovered several interesting facts. But before we finish, I would like to reinforce the importance of knowing the traditions and cultures of the people around us. Even in a work of fiction like Game of Thrones, we can learn a lot about the beliefs and values of different societies. Moreover, guest right is a reminder to us of the importance of hospitality and kindness towards others. Even in difficult times, we should always seek to help and welcome those in need. I hope you had fun and learned a lot from this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your comments with suggestions for new topics to cover here. See you next time, guys. And remember, winter is coming, so be good hosts to your guests.
If you liked the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll stay here until next time.